Hello and welcome back to Concert Critiques in Cars with Emily. Tonight's show was Stars and opening for them was Dan Mangan. This concert took place at the 930 Club in DC. So again, I've already been there for this series. So getting there was no problem. Fortunately, I was smart enough to look at the website before I left to see what time the bands were going on, because I do know that the 930 Club does that. They release when the band's going on earlier in the day. So I did look it up and I realized that the opener was not going on until 8:15, which meant the headliner wasn't going on until 9:30. So I knew that I didn't need to rush to get there by 8. So I kind of took my time and left a little bit later, which is great because the later you leave, the less traffic there is. So I got here with no problem, and again I have my little secret parking spaces so I was able to find parking pretty easy. So let's talk about the show. Before we get into the show, can someone please tell me why on a Monday a band is like, yeah, let's start at 9:30 so that we can end at 11 instead of starting at I don't know, he played for a half hour, so we could have been done at 10:30. I don't understand why we couldn't be done at 10:30. Anyway, so let's talk about the actual show. So Dan Mangan was fantastic. I liked at least 4 of his songs were very, very good. He's a singer-songwriter. He was very entertaining. Told the stories between songs, which was nice, and they were funny. He's very funny. There were a couple songs that were a little bit politically charged for my liking, but other than that, he did a really nice job. It was just him with his acoustic guitar, so yeah, I mean, it was a good show. He's very entertaining, and I would definitely go see him again. Definitely going to check out some of his songs. Again, some of them were a little political, and even the ones I really liked, like the first one he played, I really liked some of the lyrics, but then it was the message was just a little bit too much. But I really liked him overall. Very good songs, and some of his songs that were less political, or at least sounded less political, were really good. So yeah, definitely check him out. And then the transition time between, first of all, let me go back to this. Someone in the crowd during Dan Mangan had requested a song for him to play. So he told us a story about how he used to play all the time, and then he kind of started to hate playing it, so he stopped for a while, but now he's kind of back in love with it again, and he got the entire crowd to sing. So a crowd that probably 90% didn't know who he was, got them to, sing along, and they were all, most of the crowd was singing. It sounded awesome. And then the next song, he did the same thing. He got them to sing again. So, I mean, I definitely give him a lot of credit. He definitely did a nice job. Definitely got the crowd interested in his music. So, again, definitely would check him out. And I'm going to check him out. So now let's get into Stars. So I am sure that if you know Stars, you know their song, Your Ex-Lover Is Dead. That is literally the only reason I bought this ticket, was just so I could see that song. And I remember when the tickets first went on sale, I was kind of going back and forth. Do I really want to spend money and time and tiredness going to this concert and having to, drive home late at night and then start my day? It's a Monday, which means my whole week is going to be messed up. But I decided to go for it, just because why not, right? I mean, when else am I going to see Stars? And I figured, if not now, when? So anyway, I decided to go, and I figured, well, if I listen to their music beforehand, I can get into them more and know more of their songs. So I've been listening to them on and off since I bought the ticket. Nothing too critical or intense, but yeah, I mean, some of their songs are good. Some of the songs I'm not a huge fan of, but seeing them live was definitely awesome. They had a lot of good songs. A lot of songs surprised me. I didn't necessarily think I was going to enjoy as many as I did. So yes, I committed a concert crime. I looked at the set list beforehand just to see where my song, Your Ex-Lover Is Dead, fell. I wanted to, make sure they were playing it, but also just really to double check and make sure that, I didn't have to stay to the end if I didn't want to, which I ended up doing. So yay. Only one concert crime committed tonight, not two. But yeah, so they were good, and I liked a lot of the songs. I knew a couple a little bit better than some other ones, so those were good, and some of their songs are a little bit more upbeat. So they have a female singer and a male singer. I tend not to be a huge fan of female singers, but I do love when they are accompanied by male singers, so that would be like Of Monsters of Men, or there are others, I just can't think of them right now. But yeah, so they're definitely good, and there was one song where it was just the female singer, and I was not a huge fan of that song. But for the most part, I thought they did a really nice job, and they were entertaining. Definitely didn't get the crowd as into them. There was one song where they tried to make the crowd sing with them, but it kind of didn't work. I don't think a lot of the crowd knew the words, or they weren't loud enough for his liking, so he kind of took the mic away and sang it himself. But yeah, so of course my favorite song was Your Ex-Lover Is Dead, and when they played that song, it was a pretty amazing moment. I've loved that song for a very long time, and the fact that I got to see it live after all this time was pretty amazing. So definitely that is making my rating higher than it maybe would have, just because I didn't personally know a lot of the songs myself. But then, of course, well, you have a dilemma, right? Do I base the rating off of what I know or off of how they were? Their sound was amazing. Both bands had great sound. You could hear both singers very clearly, which is huge, especially if you don't know the music. So that's very important, right? Is to have good sound for a band where you don't know the music, so you can actually hear what they're saying. You don't have to struggle to kind of strain to even hear the chorus. But I could hear all the words, so they did a really nice job with the sound. They were entertaining. They're kind of older now, so it's kind of like a mom and dad band, so it's kind of funny to see the female lead try and like dance around. It was fun. So yeah, it was a good show. Glad I went. Really wish they would have started at 8 o'clock. I'm not really sure why they decided to do that. If anyone has any ideas about that, if you want to tell me, that would be awesome, because I really sometimes don't understand why they did that, especially tonight. There was no need, unless maybe they were running late or something. But even still, go on it. Let the opener go on at 8 to 8:30. Go on at 8:45 to 10:30. I think that's even 9 o'clock. Spend a half hour going through it instead. I don't know. It just seemed a little excessive to not go on at 8 or 8:15. So the opener ended up going on at 8:30 when it said 8:15 on the website. So even that was like late. It just, yeah, on a Monday night it's rough. Anyway, enough complaining. So I think overall my rating for this one is going to be a 6.5. The late start really just it really kind of puts a damper on the whole show, because now it ends a half hour later than it could have, and there was just no reason for it. It's not like they had 3 bands, they only had 2. I did really love the opener, so I thought that definitely boosted up the points a little bit, which was awesome. And even though I didn't know a lot of songs, that I'm trying not to let that impact my rating. Even some of the songs by Stars were a little bit boring, or I don't know, it just wasn't as, like, I wasn't really blown away until they played Your Ex-Lover Is Dead. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to stick with my 6.5 on this one. But really good show, great opener, good band. Definitely, if you know them, go see them. They're definitely worth it. They were very good, very gracious, really enjoyed the crowd. Talked about the area as if they were, trying to say that they knew a little bit about it. They talked about how they walked around that day or during the day. So definitely appreciate that. So definitely go see them. Good band to see. Wish they would have started on earlier, like on time, like normal. But oh well. Anyway, thanks for listening. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, whatever. And I will see you next time, which I think is next week, Modest Mouse. So I'm super pumped. All right, bye.